Well, good morning, guys. I hope you're well and welcome back to my channel. Today, I will be talking to you about Etsy. Well, what can I say? I'm going to get started from the moment I did my very first Etsy video. And I will put that video up here for you or in an info card or link it at the end of this particular video. So 4 months ago, I started my Etsy journey. Let's call it that. And we are now 4 months later. And so I'm going to tell you how I am doing. Well, the reality is that I am completely done with Etsy. I do not think it's a platform for me. And I have a few reasons why I feel that way. And I think the most obvious are, lack of sales, lack of motivation to continue because, motivation follows or encouragement follows when you see results, don't you? Sometimes with motivation or encouragement, even if you don't see progress, you do feel a sense of it's going to get better. But in this instance, I don't think that is the case. Now, I say this because, and I take my glasses off, things are getting serious. I say this because I am very disappointed. And I am disappointed in a few things. Number one, I think for me that when I looked at all the gurus on YouTube giving instructions of how to create your Etsy, look at your photos, sort out your SEO, make sure your listings are correct, have a particular number of listings, make sure your banner is completed, make sure your announcement is done, make sure you just do everything. Well, I feel I have done all of that. And if I'm incorrect in boasting about how I think I have done well, tell me down below. I'm going to list my Etsy shop in the description box so you can take a look and give me your own personal opinion, especially if you are an Etsy person, an Etsy shop owner, and you've been on the platform for many years and you've got the experience. One of my annoyance is the fact that with the so-called gurus, I watch their channels, and to be honest, I've kind of stopped now because I just think they're all pack of rubbish, to be honest. They give advice on how you should set up your shop, etc. But in reality, if you go into Etsy, all of that is there. It's just general knowledge. Etsy has given you all the information that possible for you to grow your own shop. And yes, some people wouldn't look at all the details, but my point here is that the Etsy gurus are not telling you anything new. What I do feel is that it's a lot of wobble and not really targeted information of how you should grow your Etsy shop. One of the other things that I see with the gurus, and I'm not blaming the gurus, all I'm saying is that what they are saying is not good because they're giving you a false sense of, yes, your shop is going to be so much better if you've done this, you're going to get sales. Well, in reality, you're not. That's the reality of it. I have been on Etsy for 4 months, as I said, and I have, I think, 31 listings. And I know someone will jump on and say, well, you need to have more listings. I have lots of stock that I can put on there to get to 100 listings, as the gurus say. But in reality, if I keep adding all these things and I don't see anything onto it, any movement, I don't feel motivated to continue. It's a lot of work doing the Etsy shops. It is. It's about your lighting. It's about your camera angle. It's about, your listings. And when you do all of that with the hope, according to the gurus, that it's going to get better and you don't see it get better, you think, well, what's the point? So for me, the gurus are wrong. I would prefer one of the gurus, and I can call their names out because I watch quite a lot of them, and YouTube is bombarded with Etsy gurus of how to increase your shop, how to make so much money. And in reality, it's rubbish. They're doing this just to make a video. Not because they really know how to really inform you of how to make your shop better. Yeah, it might be encouraging, or it might be good information for someone who lacks the motivation to read Etsy's instructions and then going to the platform of YouTube to get the results immediately verbally. That's fine, because we all learn differently. But at some point, you want to see that there is some proof in that pudding. So if that pudding doesn't come out good, well, then what's the point? You start questioning yourself. Did I mix it up properly? Did I follow the instructions correctly? So that's why I say to you, look at my site, my Etsy shop, and you tell me. You be brutal. You be honest with me. They'll say, well, Karen, no. You didn't hack it. You didn't hack it there. Sorry, you missed it. But I don't think I have. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the sense that Etsy is no longer handcraft anymore. I truly believe that it was a handcraft business. It's not. It's not the Etsy I used to know years ago. And for some of you who have success on Etsy, that's because you've been there a long time. Us newbies, there is no room for us. There isn't. With all of the competition that there is on Etsy, the newbies are not getting a look in. Number one, as I said, it's not handmade anymore, because I go on there as an ordinary customer and I can see quilts, table runners advertised as handmade, and I can see it's manufacturally made. And I can see that they're selling it for much more lower price than what my original hand pieces are. So there is no hope for me, really. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, you cannot compete with manufacturing in abundance and handmade on a lower, slower scale, and one original piece, because my pieces are not going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. They're going to be 1 or 2 original pieces. So when you see a store advertised as handmade and not selling handmade and selling a bed quilt for $35 and calling it patchwork handmade quilt, you're going to be laughing, because a customer who really don't care whether it's originally handmade or not is going to buy it and think, well, they've got a bargain. And that's probably what they're looking for, not an original handmade piece. So in those places, Etsy is disappointing, and I would say it's not for handmade. So I'm done with it. It is a waste of time. It really is. It's a waste of time having to do all the work with very, very minimal positivity to it. My Etsy store, I have, I think, 16 sales. Yeah, 16 sales. I got to put my glasses on for this one. 16 sales. In the last 30 days, my revenue was $22.50. Now, I'll say this. In fact, let me give you the little statistics here for the last 30 days. 340 views, 2 orders, 221 visits. Today, I have had 7 views, 1 order, and 5 visits. And that is one revenue of $12.50. And this is Australian dollars I'm referring to, right? Now, what I was about to say is that when I first started my Etsy in January, the sales came in quite quickly. I was surprised. The sales did come in quickly. Now, I was like, this is easy. What people are talking about is hard. No, it's not at all. Well, no, I was wrong. The reason why the Etsy sales was coming in is because I was pushing the sales from my YouTube channel to Etsy. Now, I don't want to do that. And some of you may say, well, that is what you're supposed to do. No, I disagree. If Etsy is a marketplace, an online digital marketplace, well, it should be generating its own traffic to my store. But in reality, it generates traffic to established stores, not newbies. So for somebody like me, it's going to take months or even a year or two to actually be, let's use the word, recognized to really get consistent sales. So in that essence, if you want to stay on Etsy for a long period of time without having to make any real consistent sales, and go ahead. But I haven't got time for that. And I don't see why I should direct that traffic to Etsy when I have my own website. I should direct it to my own website instead, because then at the end of the day, I don't have to pay the fees in relation to Etsy. And as I said, I do feel that Etsy should provide the traffic. So you can weigh that up and take it however you feel. But that's my personal opinion. So those are the reasons why I think I am done. And I just feel that if one of the gurus were to say, right, this is a person, and before I say what I'm going to say, do they actually have websites? Sorry, do they actually have Etsy stores, or is it just reading what Etsy is doing and then, just relating it to us? Because I see they do shop reviews, and to be honest, the information is just baffling. The information that they give the shop owners of the shops that they are reviewing, as they call it, free review of your shop to see where you're going wrong, it doesn't make sense to me, because I don't want to say, I'll use a friendly word, it's rubbish. You know what word I'm trying to say. It's rubbish because it is not validated response. If you are giving me a review, I want to know the steps to move forward to make an impact so that I can see a difference. Telling me to change the angle of my displays, do my SEOs better. Give me an example of that. Yeah. And some of them reviews are just so short. It's like 15 minutes. Well, how can you give 15 minutes a detailed review in 15 minutes with just generalized response? It's not a deep dive. That's my point here. It's not a deep dive, because realistically, as far as I'm concerned, they don't know. They're grasping at straws. And listen, I'm not having a go at anybody. I'm speaking from my experience. And my experience tells me, for the 4 months that I have been there, that for the 16 sales that I have made, it's not worth it. Especially as a newbie. That is my point. If you're for an established seller, you will have sales. Right? It may slow down, but it will come back. But I think as a newbie, because everybody is telling everyone on Etsy, the gurus, open an Etsy account, make so much money, you can sell this product, and so on, so much figures. Rubbish. They're just making videos to get views. That's it. And again, if anybody sees this and they take offense to, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And what I was about to say, prove me wrong by taking a store that is brand new and making it promising, showing that sales, showing that revenue, showing the advertisement, showing the SEOs, the listings. Take it through the steps and prove your point that, hey, if you follow these 15 steps, you will see results. Unfortunately, I am yet to see that from the gurus. They know who they are. You know who they are. As I said, they're all over YouTube. To me, it's disappointing, because if I am going to give someone advice on making a quilt, a table runner, or a bag, or something crafty in my area of work, I know I can do a deep dive so that when they are finished with that deep dive, they know exactly how to move forward to improve that product. Unfortunately, if you are selling the product advice of growing your sales on Etsy, you need to have some proof in that pudding. That's how I see it. And unfortunately, it has been quite disappointing on the advice from the gurus and working on Etsy myself. Now, as I said, take a look at my store. Let me know down below. Did I get it wrong? Am I overreacting? Am I being impatient? Should I stay a little bit longer? To be honest, I'm kind of done with it. So it's just disappointing in that essence, really. The other thing is that now that they are opening their doors to China, and only God knows what that means, it's even less sales for people like me who are just setting up their store and haven't got a clue as to what's going to happen. In my true honesty, do you know what I have been successful with on my Etsy? Selling my digital patterns. My handmade crafted quilts. You know, I've sold one table runner, just one. And that was my second sale. After that, no actual product. All the other 15 sales has been my patterns. And my patterns are done by me. It's not generated on the computer through CapCut or Canva or whatever else that is used out there, ChatGPT. No, it is done by me, step by step, with an actual link to a video to help you produce the item. So it is a bit disappointing that it is not promising, because I really thought that Etsy was a place whereby I can truly proudly sell my handmade items, because they're beautiful. They really are beautiful. So if you've got another idea of another platform that is suitable to sell what I am selling, have a look at my store. I'll put my actual website down below and you can give me some feedbacks. All right, guys. So, but I am done with Etsy, and I just think that there is no advice out there from the gurus that I have seen. Even before I came and did this video, I looked again and it's just rubbish. And that's the most polite word I can use right now with respect to everybody. But I'm disappointed and I am done. Sorry to end on such of a sort of a down note, but that's the reality of being on Etsy. The reality is that you're going to go through all the hard work and you're not really going to get anything much back. So for those of you out there who are new to Etsy like myself, sorry, it ain't going to get any better. You're just going to waste your time. And I'm not going to be running any ads either. For those of you thinking, well, why don't you do ads, and why? Why should I do ads? Because I am not seeing any promises. One of the main things about business is that when you're seeing your product is moving, yes, you will be encouraged to perform ads and to give discounts and to, you know, get a product moving quickly. But you're not seeing anything. And even if you do ads, and let me say this before I go, I did consider doing ads. Did anything come in? No. So don't waste your time. All right. Well, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think about my Etsy video. Like and subscribe for more. And if you can raise my spirits on Etsy, that will be appreciative. But yeah, I'm done.